Welcome to the Let's Chat Shit podcast.
Welcome.
Hey, obviously check us out on Spotify. Easy for you guys. Listen up. Make sure you like and subscribe. We need some comments. We need some more views, niggas. Share that shit.
We do actually.
We need some more views.
We have to start botting it, I think. just when we start off, just bot for a bit, and then.
Because honestly, like, how did we go from a high of 200 something views, down to 6? Last one was peak. That was only us that was there.
Down to 6. It's actually.
We're not here for the views, bro. We're not here for the views. We're here for the the
fun, the meeting up.
But at least one extra nigga fam be here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had the whole 200 last time. They were all gassed. You know what I'm saying?
No one stuck around.
Yeah, no one stuck around. But we gonna get famous like this. Make sure you subscribe, like. We need some comments to put on. If you have any like suggestions, any topics, put it in there. And
we're here just to chat shit, really. So
it's the Let's Chat Shit. First story we got here is Aberrant Preach versus Fresh and Fit. This has been a trilogy, man. God damn, this is like a UFC fight, YouTube style.
Fresh news.
The trilogy is the best one so far. This is the one where it's getting heated, bro.
Yeah, wait, but before we start, make sure you check our older podcasts on the Aberrant Preach and Fresh and Fit thing that we did.
But do you want to do a quick recap?
Exactly, quick recap. Go ahead.
I'll do the new thing. You do the recap.
Oh, the recap. Okay, so Aberrant Preach are a YouTube channel who primarily do like reactions to YouTube funny videos, and then F&F Fresh and Fit, they are a dating lifestyle coaching podcast is what they do.
Okay,
and
they sell courses, right?
They sell courses and they preach a lifestyle.
Get girls.
Exactly, and they've been having a bit of a fight on YouTube, some beef based around Aberrant Preach accusing them of being fake, of not actually living the lifestyle that they preach. Later on, Fresh and Fit then got exposed for it. Actually, one of the co-hosts ended up what we call simping and paying a sugar baby to be his girlfriend, and he's trying to basically get into a relationship. And then what happened was Academics came onto the podcast. He was like a music YouTuber, is what he does.
Okay.
He's meant to be their boy as well, isn't he?
And he's like their friend.
Friend.
So he came on to be like, call him out on it a bit, and it was a very funny podcast. Everyone was reacting to it, and then apparently there's a mad thing that happened recently. Me and Novi have no idea what it is, but
I've seen it. I actually watched most of it.
Oh, so you know about
this guy actually the whole time pretending like he didn't know. Oh, it's only me. You don't know then. So what's the update?
Yeah, so I've just seen what I've seen is just been from Aberrant Preach's channel mainly, but obviously they included Fresh and Fit's podcast clips in their videos. Yeah. And this is actually what the whole video is about, funnily enough.
Okay.
It's about including, it's a copyright claim, all that shit.
Oh, I saw that bit.
Fresh and Fit, basically, Aberrant Preach came on to YouTube and released a video and said, oh yeah, Fresh and Fit apparently are copyright striking a lot of people.
20.
Yeah.
No, wait. Copyright striking a lot of other like smaller channels are talking about him.
Payback.
But they didn't do anything to Aberrant Preach. They were like, okay, no, we're not doing nothing to Aberrant Preach yet. Yeah. And then Aberrant came on by himself. He was on it, but Preach wasn't there. And then he was like, yeah. So this is what Fresh and Fit's doing. This is really bad because it can backfire on them. This is not a good idea. Like, you should really just be letting up, especially since you take other people's clips and include it in your podcast.
Exactly.
And then he showed receipt. He's like, listen, it's not a good idea. You don't want to do this. It's going to backfire on you. And, especially because I don't want you to disappear. You know what I mean? I want to make money off you, talk some dumb shit.
Exactly.
So don't leave don't fuck around, don't fuck up. And then he kept on going. And then Fresh and Fit did the 20 plus copyright notices trying to terminate the Aberrant Preach's channel.
Because they did the video.
No, they did not. So they actually went out of their way to really...
Yeah.
Bro, they doubled down. They doubled down.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's crazy. He was on the... I think it was Myron.
I've got no respect for these niggas, man.
He was on the podcast. He was like, nah, if you want to chat shit about us, we're going to come for you, legally speaking. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to hit you where it hurts. Your pockets.
The pockets.
Nah, he's ridiculous, man. He's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Bro, this is the move that's actually going to fuck up their podcast. And also, at this point, the respect that they've attempted to garner in the YouTube space, because copyright striking is an unwritten rule on the YouTube space, because it takes only 3 for your channel to be deleted. Your entire channel would be gone. So that's a livelihood. And exactly. And these guys are going to do 20. It's like 20. 3 has to stick.
But
we're going for it.
Yeah, luckily YouTube have responded.
No.
So another video came out with the update, and
quick update,
quick, bro. Yeah, it was actually very quick.
I missed. One day I was not around,
But I think they say that they talked to their YouTube representative.
Yeah, because
but
they said
they had an email back and forth anyway.
Yeah.
So the lawyer from Fresh and Fit basically sends that. They say, these videos we want to claim this video, this is 20 plus.
Yeah.
And then YouTube was like, yeah, we've reviewed your thing, and basically we say no. Computer says no.
Computer says no. Fair use.
and matter of fact, if you don't review them properly and don't take this seriously, because we didn't take this seriously, we might terminate your channel.
Yeah.
You got to turn on the no. So not only you got horrible PR from this whole situation,
right.
You've now also got your own livelihood. How can such a thing backfire so horribly wrong? That is embarrassing. You know what? Deserved as well. This is what happens, man. You try to go into the legal space. This guy's. Bro, they're actually retards. They have nothing. They have no ideas about no laws, no fair use, no nothing.
Yeah, but they got a lawyer, and the lawyer encouraged them as well because I think he wanted the money. Yeah, he wanted the money.
So this guy, yeah, bro, 20. I'll do back to back, and did some videos. He probably was Abba Preach wasn't even there.
It was so bad. It was like he was saying, this video that was 15 minutes, they took that one and included it in their video. He's like, bro, we don't even make 15-minute videos. Like we don't. Yeah. What are you talking about? But they do. But still.
Yeah. It's like, it just shows. And what was that? It was that the whole story?
Didn't they retract their? Am I?
They were told to retract it. I think that was the last official thing that I saw.
Oh, okay. I thought the last thing said they did, and then YouTube were like, "Oh, thank you for cooperating," or something. Or I think
YouTube left the last email saying, "End of notice. We're gonna leave them up. Like the content's gonna stay online, and that's that." Like,
okay.
But then I think they have a little bit of time now to take it back. Like.
Right, and then they'll be calm.
And then they'll be calm. But if they don't retract it, then they might come after you. Like,
because when I saw the first video, I only saw the first one, about the whole copyright striking other channels. Yeah. And when I saw that, I went onto the Fresh and Fit podcast to see if they were speaking about it. They didn't say nothing, so I thought these guys
were they live?
They had a podcast that after that video, and they didn't say anything. So I was thinking to myself, these guys are they're just gonna ignore Abba and Preach at this point because they knew last time it was a financial hit. So they were not gonna have to do it, and these men were like, "No, we could have come out boxing." Yet ended up punching themselves in the face.
Bro, it might be a knockout thing, but self knockout.
It is a self knockout.
I don't think YouTube will do it. I think it's a threat. To be honest,
no, I don't think YouTube will take. Yeah, I don't think they'll take the channel, but
because YouTube
the respect and what's happened now on the whole space.
Yeah.
The respect they will lose against their fans as well after this, because this is a big thing. But no YouTuber was on your side for this now.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about hate free,
Ethan Klein,
yeah. So I don't know, man.
Explain that.
Well, there was a whole thing where he was getting constantly copyright claimed against for years, and somebody kept on going, was willing to go all the way to court with him, and then they ended up going to court and ended up winning. So
yeah, and that was a landmark case, and it's actually being used today to uphold fair use.
It's like when they cite history versus whatever the guy's
Kentucky,
versus the state. Some shit like that.
Well, talking about Kentucky, 50 people are suspected dead due to a tornado.
This has actually happened last night. So
we're first on the scene on this one.
Well, except BBC News, they beat us to it, and probably a few others.
Hey, yo, fuck the mainstream media.
But so this is actually a sad story because so the US is quite plagued. Certain states are plagued by tornadoes a few times a year, and certain states get worse than others. And
sorry, did you say plagued?
Plagued, it's like
it happens too often. It's a consistent problem.
Yeah, basically, I think just geographically, how their weather is, everything there, but and so Kentucky had the worst recorded ever tornado in the state last night.
In their state.
Yeah, in their state.
That's a madness.
And unfortunately, that.
How big does that mean, though? You know what I'm saying? Because if they already have many tornadoes, this must be a large one.
To be honest, I have no idea how you rate a tornado. I know how earthquakes work.
Big things, isn't it?
You never hear about tornadoes.
No, because it's a Richter scale for the earthquake.
Yeah, exactly.
I have no idea. Is it like a wind speed or something?
It would be, but I think they'd have categories this is considered blah blah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
level 1, level 2,
exactly.
or something. You know,
this is probably a level 8 dragon or something.
Level 8 dragon.
Because this is stress.
Is there videos?
I haven't seen any, but there will be videos
by now.
Yeah,
unless they got licked off in the tornado.
The phones.
The cameras.
To be honest, like it's obviously it's very sad, and I know I wish their families well, but
what are you about to say now?
I'm just saying, like, if I knew a place that is like, oh, by the way, if you live here, bear tornado.
But there's quite a few states that suffer from this, so there'd be a few states that some people have to live there eventually.
Yeah, I guess you're gonna have.
It's just the people that accept the risk.
Who think like, look, the land, maybe cheaper here because people are more like, we're doing tornadoes, so they're like, we can afford it, we need to live there.
Yeah, and you can get tornado shelters built in your gardens and on your land, so you can actually go somewhere that's safer.
Or like a bunker or something.
Yeah, exactly. But unfortunately, the story that we're talking about, where 50 people have died, which they've said the estimation is probably higher than that, and by the time they've accounted for everyone, it could be up to 70. But this happened because they all were seeking refuge basically it was a candle factory warehouse. Oh. So I think they all worked there, and then the tornado came about, and they all had to like seek refuge there and hide there. And the actual building got like almost directly hit by the tornado. Oh no! And half of it's collapsed, half of it was ripped apart. Mad. Yeah, and it's done a huge amount of damage, and a lot of people have been killed.
Imagine being in those last moments, like your family, you think it's a fucking movie. The fucking roof is being licked off from you.
That would actually be too much.
To be honest, though, I have many ways to die. That's a gas way to go out. I'll be gassed. You know what I'm saying?
Fly around for a bit?
I mean, like, I'm like, you know, some niggas, they die off some of those dumbest shit. You know what I'm saying? But to die off as a tornado, that's quite lit.
Yeah,
At least be like.
I get what you mean. I
don't get it.
Do you know, like, imagine, I don't know, you did something dumb, like you...
Like fall downstairs or something.
You just got run over by a car. It's a bit of a stress way to die.
Yeah, you're looking the right way. Dumb shit, you know what I'm saying?
It's just like, it could have been avoided. But tornado, you couldn't do anything. It's a huge...
And it's a gas way to go out. At least you'd be like, fuck it. You know what I'm saying?
If the people living there have to hold it down. But if I was there, I'd get the fuck out.
Obviously, we're not trying to commit suicide.
Tornadoes can lead to like hurricane weather and like, you know, huge winds. I think there was huge winds, so they all had to stay inside to be safe. And there was also 2 kids were reported missing during the tornado who lived in Kentucky.
Bro, that's so stressful, bro. Imagine living through it. So you're gonna be running, thinking, is everyone alright? Pee.
Later found alive in a bathtub that was no longer originally in the building that they started in. Somehow they were found in the bathtub away from the building it was in.
You know what that could have been? They could have been taken by the fucking thing.
Tornado, yeah.
And then dropped back down
Imagine the bath. I don't know how they're safe. They're safe and sound. They're fine.
Bro,
I have no idea how you...
Imagine 2 kids holding onto the bath as they're going up a fucking tornado.
The bath weighs so much.
They just moved from one place and they landed in the bath, right? Could happen as well.
Well, I think they started in the bath.
They started in the bath.
I think so. That's what.
That was their house.
That's what they implied, but they didn't like state.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it could be where, you know, their homes one, for example. They tell about that. If the house used to have a bath, ain't there no more.
Or maybe I don't know. Maybe they just suck. They got in the bath for safety, and they were never originally in it. I don't know.
Imagine though. That's crazy. But yeah, talking about like dead people. Switzerland
transition.
That's a bad transition.
Talking about that.
Switzerland legalizes 3D printing of suicide pods.
Yeah, bro, this was insane. I just had to include this one.
What the fuck?
I thought I was like, huh? This
3D printing, so you can make it.
I thought this was bullshit.
What's a suicide pod to be making? What is that? Before even
3D print? There's this company. I forgot the name of the company, but yeah, they're just.
A man are making money off this.
Fam, bro. They're gonna make money off this.
All right, explain to us what a suicide pod is first, and then we'll talk about the 3D printing.
So simple. Everybody knows that in like Switzerland and, you know, maybe some other countries, you're allowed to have euthanasia. You know, assisted death basically. If you no longer want to live a life, just go there. They sort you out.
You're allowed to commit suicide.
Quick, yeah. It's a sanctioned thing, legalized.
I think I don't remember if the rule is you have to have like something like a terminal illness, or anyone can do it. I can't remember. But it is a thing.
No. In Holland, for example, is a thing where you have a terminal illness, then you can decide to die. But that's only in that specific case. That's called euthanasia.
Yeah.
But in the case of just saying I want to go commit suicide, I don't think that's.
Well, they have named it assisted suicide, haven't they? So I'm guessing it must be all then.
I think it's a full-on assisted suicide. You're allowed.
So in Switzerland, you
go there, they sort you out.
You probably have to pay for it yourself, innit, though.
But obviously, there's probably like
10k a session.
Mine said pay for it yourself. You're gonna be gone anyway. You might as well give the whole thing.
What about the family? You know,
he's like, you have to pay 10k. He's like, what's 10k mean to you now?
It's a business model, isn't it?
Oh, that's part of the business,
isn't it? They're taking people's money
because they're like, bro, you ain't got any use for that money now anyway.
Trust me. I bet that's how I thought.
That's that's shady business, but that's also quite smart.
It is smart.
Entrepreneurship, bro.
But not all entrepreneurship is like good entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. People still like debate this. Obviously, I guess most around the world, because it's not legal, they don't accept it. But there is still a place around the world where.
But that's quite interesting because now that I think about it, how can man tell me to live? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, how can the government try to tell me no? You don't have to commit suicide.
But that's what it's like, though. You're forced to live.
Legally,
you're forced to live. But doctors have to keep you alive.
But can you imagine that though? Like you have the government is controlling whether you want to live. That sometimes when that hits me in the head, it's like, imagine trying to have so much control over someone. That's why it seems like Switzerland is the weird people who are like, oh, it's fine to do it.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it, outside the normal governmental, structure that we're put in, under. Obviously, if you want to die, you should be allowed to die. That is your choice.
Yeah, but same thing with drugs. Obviously, if you want to take drugs, you should be taking drugs.
Exactly, and that's another thing as well. So
I think part of the thing with suicide, it's like a lot of people fail to commit suicide. When they try, they don't end up going fully through with it.
Because it's illegal. That's the problem. If they went to the assisted places, it they'll be done properly.
Yeah, true. But then you have it must be weird.
Let me drop the thing on this guy. So
we're having a nice conversation. Yeah, this guy was like, let me just cut this one off. Yeah,
sorry. Because I want to get through the story quickly before we forget about what the whole.
We'll come back to a little U-turn thing, bro.
Don't worry.
Anyway, this guy basically designed a little pod where you can just enter. First of all, it's 3D printed, so you 3D print something and then you enter, and then there's a button that you can click that releases some sort of noxious gases, knocks you out, and then kills you.
Yeah. So is there electronics in that, or is literally you click a button, it's all mechanical and the gas?
I think you have to set up like some parts that is not being printed, but yeah, you have to have some extra parts.
That'd be sick if it wasn't.
So man can make it at home as well, is what they say.
Yeah. You get all the parts, you just print the main part, and then you add in the other stuff, and then boom.
It looks sick, to be fair. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I would want to.
If I was gonna commit suicide, this is how I do it.
So you're on a film.
It looks like a Matrix pod. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, the hibernation thing they do when they're on spaceships. I forgot what it is. Cryo chambers.
Yeah,
it looks like from a movie. One of them.
Oh, that's mad.
It looks sick.
But like for me, it's like actually who's losing out here, because those guys are probably having the easiest death known to man. You know how easy it is just to literally go to sleep and die. Dying in your sleep. That's a really nice way to go out. Like if I think about it now, some people are in like pure pain, like end of cancer, like stressing, trying to cling on to life. And these guys here, little guys, and that's it, they're gone.
Yeah,
so easy, so chill. And it's like, I just don't want to deal with this shit anymore.
But but you man were talking about the fact that they're gonna make money off this. Like, obviously people. But it's not really like that, because the guy, he goes in a promo clip. The guy who made it said that he was planning to make the technology free, and the program to source it. To open source it, make it free, so people can just the program to print the capsule would be made available online, and that would allow us to spread the idea around the world.
Okay.
More suicide pods.
I can see that being used nicely in prisons with death penalties, because at the moment it's a bit like clapped how they've done it. Like I think there's a state in America that still allows hanging.
Right.
I'm sure there's one.
That's mad. Probably,
maybe I'm chatting shit, but I'm pretty sure.
There's probably like laws that are still out there where they can do that, but then it's just not used anymore. For example.
No, but I think the current one is the injection. So they inject different chemicals into you, but I don't think it's instant. Whereas this would be, I feel like this is more humane. And
but they don't care about humane. To be honest,
I guess it's a punishment, isn't it? It's a punishment.
The fact that you're getting killed off with an injection, I feel like you still got an easy way out.
Yeah, true.
I feel like
I don't know how much that burns in the you feel. I don't know.
But bro, think about that. Yeah, I'd much rather a death penalty than a lifetime imprisonment. Straight up.
Maybe.
Straight up.
Why do you think people shoot themselves after they've killed bare people? They don't want to go to prison.
Yeah, they don't want to face consequences. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what I'd rather, to be honest. I might prefer the prison if I can get into a nicer one. That way I can,
little white collar thing.
Devote my life to like reading and learning and shit. I don't know. I'd rather do that than.
I for a bit you'd say that.
I could do that. If I could do.
No, but you say that for a bit, and then you just see 10 years in.
I don't know, bro. If you got the P, there's some people that chilling in some nice prisons.
And you've seen them with the
it depends. It depends. But that's the UK prisons. Now imagine certain men are in like Mexico. Them prisons. True. That's pain. Yeah. Give me the death penalty ASAP.
Guantanamo style, yeah.
Bro, ASAP. I'm like, bro, I'll be asking the judge, like, please, up the thing one more. Otherwise, I swear to God, I'll hit the guy next to me right now. Up the thing. You don't give me life already. You might as well take it too.
But I was watching a US program that's now on YouTube, because I think it's quite old. It was called like Locked In. And so they take contestants, a TV show, they take normal people and they put them in prisons as undercover prisoners.
I think I've seen this one.
But bro, the prisons they put them in are like 95% controlled by the inmate sort of prisons.
Yeah.
And so people are getting stabbed on camera. And the people that are undercover, who was just like a psychology student or something, they're actually in the prison and someone's got stabbed up and like bleeding out. And the guards that on camera are allowing it to happen. Like the TV
What's his name, bro?
Was
it that guy who was he himself used to be in prison back in the day for like murder, but then he got acquitted because he didn't actually do it. And then that's the guy who's then doing the lock. I think that's
seriously.
I
don't know.
He's got a slash on his face like here.
I don't remember. It was just giving me like clips on, on
okay.
YouTube.
So I've seen the actual show.
Oh really?
Yeah. And so that's the guy who's been 20 years ago. I think he was in prison for 20 years for a murder he didn't commit. But bro, the guy, he himself was a bit like, you could tell that the prison got to him a little bit.
Yeah.
He's a little bit like on edge himself.
Yeah.
And like, but it's crazy how within the prison system, how in certain countries it's like a village in there. No one's giving you food, no one's giving you clothes. Not like these nice prisons here where they feed you. It's actually better to be in a prison than outside in the cold. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes.
Yeah. Like rich nerds have their PS5, they rolled in their weed.
Yeah, exactly.
They're live streaming from the prison cell.
How am I seeing people on Instagram from prison, fam? Like, it's unbelievable. And I see their stories and they're just there like, having a good time.
They're just playing against their boys on FIFA.
They are such mad engineers too, bro. You know, sometimes they're doing some mad shit, putting some mad things together. They learn something, you know, and but
some reusable skills.
Yeah, bro.
Electronic engineering classes.
Bro, it's all about engineers in there, bro. You got bare time. You're out here learning about electronic boards, how you can charge your phone in the most weirdest way.
How to make tunnels and shit.
Yeah.
Telecommunication networks. You never know, man. These niggas.
You know what? Certain man should. You know what a business idea would be
Oh,
to put these prison people into good use. As in, like, you hide them for bare cheap. Bare cheap, you hide them.
They do it for something, I forgot. I think the government was going to employ them to do something.
HGV drive, lorry driver.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we spoke about that. And the guy driving it, was a guy who was a getaway driver using a lorry.
There's actually something's come out recently of the HGV drivers.
Oh yeah,
lorry drivers.
The trainers that train people to become them. So the government has stepped up like their like funding in it. It was something from like 13 mil to like 34 mil now.
Oh shit.
So they've put into training people, and they're trying to get 11,000 instead of 5,000 HGV drivers. And
I've never seen them stressed like this.
It is, but all the training centers are complaining now on the news.
Oh, really?
Because apparently they're like overbooked. They can't handle, the system can't cope with that many people because they're putting so much funding into it. That so many people are coming in at the same time. Apparently they're booked up till April and shit, and they're all struggling now to actually train the people.
Oh, every time is a new problem.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that mean? Always, I got problems.
Yeah.
Always.
But it's half a good side at the same time, I guess, because a lot of people are now going into it. So we know like that in future hopefully shouldn't be a problem if that many people.
No, man. Government intervention is always fucking shit out.
But slowly though, it's like this. I've seen bare people like saying they're looking for jobs and this stuff. How did we get so much like jobs now that the government is struggling to hire people? Before it was like unemployment was the problem.
Yeah,
now it's the opposite, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Employment is the problem now. What?
I think.
So when we switch this thing up, I like it for the people and amend them because you can get higher wages. You can demand more from your companies that you work for. But what I'm wondering is, when did the switch happen? What's going on?
They said it was a combination of Brexit and the fact that COVID happened to where everyone was like locked at home, like working from home. People were realizing they didn't enjoy their shitty jobs apparently, and the levels of resignations and people leaving jobs like flew through the roof during COVID.
Yeah, it's called the Great Resignation actually. That's
Exactly.
Which is quite interesting because everyone's looking for a new job. But if everyone's looking and leaving for a new job, then I don't get it. Did the number of jobs just randomly increase? Did people just stop working? What happened? That's what I'm thinking.
I guess tech companies carried on as well. Like, I've seen like there's a lot of hype out there now for tech companies, like loads of job openings. They're trying to expand and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess working from home benefited them in a way because I don't know, like everyone, like for me anyway, like I feel like I did more work to be honest when I was at home.
Oh, well, you actually worked harder.
Yeah, and just got more done. I don't know. Yeah, maybe because could take breaks, I wasn't distracted talking to people, or I don't really know. But like, I felt like I was way more productive at home, and everyone at my company says the same. I don't know if it's just my company. It's hard to do work when you're in the office at my company.
I'd say for me, I'd say I'm probably a bit of a balance. What I like about working from home is I can break things up. Do like extra laundry when I need to do laundry, or do this when I need to. I can do some housework while also working at the same time.
Yeah.
But
no, but a lot of it, I guess.
But at work, I bare distractions now that I think about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What do you mean? Let's go get coffee. Oh, let's go make breakfast. Oh, let's go to the gym.
Oh,
you know,
really? That's your fault. That's your fault.
My manager telling me to do it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But have you guys been walking around London? Have you seen how it is? Like in terms of shops are open or are they closed more?
Well, recently.
Like,
bare people are active now. I can't even believe, bro.
Busy, yeah.
So, bro, when I went to Oxford Circus, I've never seen so much people. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah, certain areas of London didn't even really quiet down at all as well. Like Chiswick, it was so busy constantly.
Yeah.
Honestly, so busy on the streets, just people everywhere.
It's mad. It's actually mad. But let's pivot to China. Number one, basically, China. Well, so Nicaragua. I don't know if I said that right. That sounded.
Say what? So nigga who?
Do we have to bleep that shit? I don't know.
Nicaragua. It's got Nicaragua cut ties with Taiwan. So now the number of countries who have diplomatic ties with Taiwan is dwindling quickly. And what's happening is China's putting pressure on any of these countries around them, anyone who has ties with Taiwan, to then drop it to say that we don't need to have diplomatic ties with Taiwan because Taiwan is part of China. We only need to have the Chinese one. So sooner to basically to convince and ensure that the world only sees Taiwan as part of China.
Yeah,
and it's the same thing with what happened with Hong Kong. You know, they're really trying to integrate that. But in this case, Taiwan has been a country for a very long time now, which is shocking that now they're putting pressure on everyone. You can't have, at certain times, I don't know if it was the World Cup or one of the football things, you couldn't, or one of those sporting events, you couldn't put the Taiwanese flag there. You just were not allowed to. Okay. Because China would have a fit about it.
So
Taiwan can't come into, I think it's the UN or one of those boards or whatever, because it's like you don't need Taiwan because Taiwan is China.
Yeah, okay.
So they're trying to erase them out of the and because really Taiwan is one of the last standing democratic nations in that area, around that area. So very democratic. So I feel bad, and obviously
everyone's scared about that as well, because you're seeing all these semiconductor manufacturing companies now trying to find spaces in the US.
Yeah,
including TSMC, which is Taiwan's the
largest company.
Yeah, so we're all very dependent on our integrated circuits and our semiconductors and so on and so forth. So, and it's crazy because recently I saw China as well. They had the international airport of Uganda was up for grabs apparently because Uganda failed to pay their interest payment.
They robbed it from them.
So China was trying to rob the Ugandan airport. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna. I guess it's ours now. So you didn't pay the money."
When can I just say we were saying this from when? Time ago.
Yeah, true.
We were saying this from when we said this. We were like, all these African countries doing deals with China right now. When the loans you start to default, they're gonna start licking the bits because they know that Africa is the next biggest continent area that's gonna have the biggest economic boom, the same economic boom that China had. So what they're doing is this time they're like, we're not gonna be dumb like the US and stand on the sidelines. While we're rich, we're gonna cop all the African things. So when they have their economic boom, really, it's our second coming.
Yeah, true.
Apparently Uganda was beefing back though. They were like, nah. They're like,
So remember we said that some countries are gonna try to be like, nah. But then what has China been doing? Developing that army. They've been so now they're gonna be like, we're gonna go to war with you if you don't give us our money back or give us our land or what we own now. What we own. So that's why they've been building up their army for this specific reason. They knew that they're not gonna be able to pay, so they knew they're gonna try to get out of it somehow. That's where the army comes in. That's their contingency.
We'll see. I think this happened like maybe a week and a half ago. That was actually something like this.
They're gonna have to give them the airport. I'm not gonna lie.
But it starts like that. It's not that you're gonna see large chunks of Africa just being taken up by China.
Well, to be fair, they got the playbook from the US. You know, like the US has a bunch of organizations that like IMF and stuff who've been doing this to other countries before. It's just that everyone wasn't as blasted on the internet as much, but they got it from the US. They were like, oh, US.
But the US didn't do it well enough because the one guys that really should have done that too was China. That when China was when China became its entire supply, everything was coming out of China. Then that's before they went, while they were still like quite poorish. That's when you had 30 years ago. That's when you should have went for it. Killed it, grabbed all their lands as much as you can, and all their companies as much as you can. And then when they had their boom, that would have been America's second boom. But they didn't.
Well, I don't know. It depends on the time, I guess. Because I guess, Taiwan technically was China, so yeah, I don't know.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah.
Plan B has now been implemented by the UK government. So, what were we saying when I was saying, like, those people who are not vaccinated are slowly going to be pushed out of society?
Segregation!
Yeah, we're going to have to say goodbye to Masood soon on the podcast.
He's gonna have to show us a passport if he wants to get into the podcast. Imagine parties do this stuff.
Did you guys get invited to any parties where they said, "Yo, we're testing at the party front door of the party"? Anything like that?
I haven't really gone to many.
No, they told me for my Christmas party that they're gonna do that you should do a test before you come into the
my
party.
workers said they're not going to do it.
The whole Christmas party is not even happening.
No, sorry, the testing. They don't want to force people to do tests.
Oh, okay. No, they said I didn't do a test.
But either way, this Plan B thing is like if you do a test, you'll have to go in. We were saying before.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let me explain what the Plan B is. So now what's happening in large venues, you must have a COVID passport. Luckily for the people like Masood who are not jabbed, luckily you're able to show I think proof of immunity might be able. I'm not.
Yeah, that is one definitely. Yeah,
proof of immunity. So if you've had COVID previously and been tested,
or negative, both. You can do both tests.
Yeah,
or you do a lateral flow test.
That's the only thing I'm not sure.
That one's crazy.
Is it actually lateral flow?
Double check it, but I think so.
I think it's a PCR,
I think it's both.
I don't know why it'd be a lateral flow. They don't allow that for anything, really.
Yeah, because it doesn't really work like that.
Otherwise, they'd have lateral flights.
Do you remember you did the lateral flow test like 2 times? You were trying to gas us like you ain't got COVID. The third one turned out to have COVID.
It was 2 times did and 1 time wasn't. So it was like I got positive, then negative, then positive. So 2 positive.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because
check the WhatsApp.
We had to force Maria to do it for you.
No. Because he showed us first. He said, "Look, guys, it's negative."
Yeah.
Because otherwise, then you wouldn't have done another one.
Exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to. Then you said,
"No, what is negative?"
Obviously,
and then you did like a faint line. There was one that was barely.
Yeah. And you were like, but it doesn't really count. You did the third time and it came out positive. But you said, look, there was 2 that were negative and only 1 that was positive. So actually, I can't really have COVID. It's only 33% COVID.
Allegedly.
But anyways, so they make it slowly harder and harder for those who are not vaccinated. And remember, we spoke about this was going to happen sooner or later. And I was telling people, if you just want to go on holidays, make your life hella easy. Just go get the jab and be done with it, and don't be stressing.
It's free.
It's free. And the thing is like now, let's say those who wanted to go out for New Year's Eve, go clubbing or whatever you like to do. Well, they can't do it now if they're not doubly jabbed. Well, luckily they still have the lateral flow test. If that's true, we're not. That's a let's chat shit metric. We're not sure about that.
What was it about the timing though? The pass it expires in 6 months or some shit. What is this?
Oh, immunity.
No,
wait,
like
of what?
The pass. Like I don't know.
It expires.
I don't know. I was checking the chat. So when you were talking about it on the WhatsApp. I don't know. I can't remember.
I don't
it was Kishan. Yeah, he was saying that for the. I think it's
immunity, isn't it?
It's the immunity one. Yeah, they have an immunity one that he's saying would expire every 6 months. So you have to get a new one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. But in general, it's starting like this. Soon or later, it'll be like you have to have the COVID vaccine. They're gonna be like, we don't care about no lateral flow, no nothing. You're not coming in until you do the vaccine.
So you've done 4.
3 or 4, you know what I'm saying, by that time. But for those people who haven't even started, you know that's going to be. You can't go on holidays. So most countries, they want an actual COVID passport vaccination. So you can't go on holiday because it takes, you do your first vaccine dose, then it's 8 weeks that you have to wait until your second one.
Okay.
So it's so long.
There's also quarantine rules even when you're traveling as well. So like a lot of people, they're traveling and like, I have to stay here for 14 weeks in a hotel, and then I only booked a holiday for 2.5 weeks anyway.
Exactly. So slowly it's just getting.
But do you think the government's infringing on your rights in that or not?
Oh, 100%. But I done gave that one up. They were infringing my rights from day one. I gave that one up. I was like, take it. What I have to have two vaccines to do what I want to do, and I don't have to think about it ever again. Until the next booster thing comes up, which I'll allow you, gotta hit that one too.
Yeah, free. No, actually, no, 4 now. 4.
Bro, hit.
You're gonna be like,
Bro, as long as I can go carry on my thing, because to be honest, they've tested it on enough people. I know there hasn't been that many adverse effects. I've had 2 now, chilled the whole way, not one issue, anything. So for me, it makes absolutely sense to keep my life easy.
You heard it here. The road to serfdom.
So just to chill, fam. Just to not have like that stress. Like, you know how much easier it is to not think I have to do some lateral flow test when I can just be like, here's the thing.
Yeah, true. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It feels like, the lateral flow test is quite annoying to do sometimes.
Do you reckon they're gonna have bare fake people trying to hack the system?
Hack the what?
I don't know, maybe
like the QR codes and fuck it up.
I think they can do it with certificates.
I've heard about
deep web shit.
I've heard of NHS stuff putting people on a database, but it costs money.
Oh, mad! All right,
costs money. Yeah, You can buy
your way in.
You can buy your way in. Yeah,
that's sick.
Oh shit!
Do we know an estimated ballpark figure?
Yeah, we know people that work at NHS.
150.
Right?
That's not too bad.
Wait, £150.
If you needed it done.
I know, it was quite cheap, isn't it?
It's for life, right? Then you've apparently had 2.
Nah, do you know what?
Once you're in the NHS system, yeah,
they're gonna do a subscription thing.
We keep updating it with the boosts as they come out. That's the thing. We should find our way into this.
That's probably what's gonna happen. That's insane, man.
But yeah, if you want the server, just contact me. No, I'm joking. Yo, UK government, that was a joke thing.
He's not joking.
No.
But yeah, seriously. Russia is getting brave now. The Russia sees China doing all these movements. It's thinking, man's lagging a little bit behind. The Chinese are moving very smart. So they've decided to place 120,000 soldiers at the Ukrainian border.
Yeah. It's actually it's quite a bit. I don't know.
That's a lot of people, bro. That's a lot of 120,000.
Be specifically on their border.
Posted up by your yard, fam.
Shivering in the cold.
Bro, imagine 120,000 people posted up just right at the border, just all waiting to attack.
In the line.
And you're the president of the Ukraine team. You're just looking at it like, rah. This is hella suspicious.
Yeah. So Russia, like China, plan on expansion. And so
like it was a game.
they're playing their expansion cards. They've saved up enough points.
You're killing me.
But yeah, so they've been recently and like for a little bit now increasing the number of troops they've had on their border, and even running like fake drills, like military exercises.
You know that's like twerking at the border. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to scare man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a scare man. Let's do the drills.
Just hear the bullets in the
just to scare them.
But yeah, so it's been getting worse. The tension's been going up, and from Ukrainian defense intelligence, they're saying that Russia might plan to actually attack early next year, like actually do something. Really? And recently, even Joe Biden had a meeting, like a Zoom call with Putin.
Yeah, and jump on Zoom, bro. Jump on Zoom. I'll send you a link.
And was kind of just saying, like, there's going to be like harsh economic and other punishments if you actually invade.
Wait, but they were like, but last time I did it, I done took the whole place. I ain't giving it back. I'm gonna do it again.
What did he react? How did he react?
Apparently he was quite like he didn't really show much emotion. He was kind of withheld. He kind of just like spoke back with him, but like didn't really give away if he was going to carry on, and didn't really say he wasn't going to do it anymore.
He just dodged it.
Kind of. Kind of.
But the thing,
Biden's not really that threatening.
He spoke back. He wasn't like completely.
Biden was probably asleep during the Zoom. He's so senile. He was recorded. They had to record it a couple of times.
I think it was more a statement to him instead of question time. It was more just Biden saying like, we'll do this if you do that sort of thing, and then neither party working out what the other's going to do. But the US have also said they're not going to defend Ukraine with their own troops. The most they'll do is give them like financial aid and like resources, but like guns and ammo and military like equipment.
Yeah, well, and now if you think about it, like we know previously Russia has done this.
Yeah,
it went and it licked Crimea. He went to a town and you know what they did? They went to the town, they got rid of all the people who was anti-Russian. And they did a referendum to say if you want to stay in Russia, sorry, if you want to stay in Ukraine or you want to come to Russia.
Is that actually what they did? They
did
got rid
that.
of the Russians?
Yeah. They did. Well, anyone who was anti like the Russians.
Oh, right.
And the referendum was
Survey.
outstandingly towards the Russian side.
Yeah.
So they said, actually, if the town actually want to join Russia, we're happy to accept it.
We'll allow it.
We're happy. So that's the route they took. And there was loads of sanctions for this. Ukraine was forever fighting back to trying to get Crimea back. Never got it back. And here we are today. They're just probably at the border of Crimea asking the next town over, yo, you want to join Russia? Yeah.
Well, for reference, in terms of number of troops on the Indian border, like the Indian-Pakistani border, there's like millions of troops. Of course, they're much larger populations and stuff, so you can expect that. But yeah, that's why I was thinking 120 is not that large. So I'm thinking it's like
Europe is very large.
I think that's kind of more like I'm moving a chess piece, but nothing not too crazy. I don't know. Just based on the number, I just think
it's enough to, like, Ukraine's not huge, so it'd be enough to do a lot.
Just to take another town.
Yeah, but Ukraine have vowed that if Russia were to invade, that there would be a lot of lost life on the Russian side. They're like, you know, you can do it, but it's not going to work out.
And Russia's thinking, bro, we took it last time, and again, you did nothing.
Yeah. So.
Which is true. That's what they're going to be thinking, and I feel bad for Ukraine, but I just think that Europe is snaky. Then no one is helping them out.
Yeah.
Because if Europe truly cared, they would have done it. They would have backed it the first time.
Right.
How are we gonna imagine someone came, bro, and just decided to just lick off a city like Manchester, just take Manchester or something. Like it makes zero sense. Imagine somewhere in Italy, someone just took Milan. What the fuck, fam?
Yeah. But I think the reason behind it was Ukraine aren't yet in NATO. They've recently expressed interest to join. They want to.
Big interest, please.
Show more interest. Show more interest.
Big interest.
But because they weren't in NATO, none of the other countries who were part of NATO had a requirement to defend them with military force. But this whole issue, apparently Russia blaming the whole we might invade Ukraine on the fact that Western countries are expanding their territory to the east. They're taking Ukraine for themselves. Even though this will be Ukraine independent nation, they will have to help NATO.
Europe. Yeah.
So if they're basically against Russia at that point, because NATO is all the countries Russia kind of have bad reputation with. But so I guess there's kind of that's the reason they're saying, and so I don't think they've let Ukraine join NATO yet because of that.
Oh, that's peak. And then it just shows it's going to be, for them, they're going to have to be begging, please, guys, they're at the border, please help me out.
It could just be more soft play, though, like in terms of China's always been close to we're going to invade Taiwan now. Oh, no.
Right.
Okay, no.
Yeah, it's true. Slowly, but it's like chipping.
Yeah, true.
It's like chipping away at it.
Right.
But did you guys hear about New Zealand banning tobacco? Well, attempting to ban tobacco from smoking at all, as a thing in the country.
I heard it was so specific, once you're born from a specific age or something, people born this age onwards.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So what's happened is they've decided that they don't want to have their future generations smoke at all. No cigarettes. There is nothing to gain from cigarettes.
Yeah.
Everything just to
They're
lose.
right. They are
which
right,
is absolutely true. And so what they're saying is, from a certain age, I think it was 20
14. It's so when they implement the law, whoever's 14 at that time it's implemented can no longer for the rest of their life ever buy tobacco, no matter how old they are.
Yeah, and it's banned legally. And what I'm kind of I'm a bit conflicted by is, if we're banning any drugs, which we already do, like cocaine, all these other bigger drugs, then it makes absolutely sense to be banning tobacco. Tobacco is one of the most damaging ones that society currently is as bad as alcohol, and it's very, very, very damaging. And it makes complete sense. Although for me, I don't believe in any sort of banning, because for me, any sort of prohibition we've known for years has never worked. The war on drugs is the number one prime example. It doesn't work. In every country in which every drug is legal, the number of addicts is down. Portugal, for example, decriminalized. Number of addicts are down. The number of damage to society, health-wise, there are no people who actually partake in those drugs. The safety around the whole drug taking thing. So it really shows that decriminalize. Stop. Instead of banning, you need to make sure that you teach and educate people about this.
Yeah.
And I don't think the cigarette ban is going to be a smart idea in the long
Yeah.
run because of that. But because today in society we already ban all these drugs, so tobacco really should be banned if we're going to have the same logic across the board.
Yeah, true. Yeah. If we are following that logic, but it will be hard to implement that because imagine you're friends with a 15-year-old or like someone's the oldest in the class and they're 15 while everyone else is 14. This guy's allowed, and if law gets implemented, that guy's allowed to buy cigarettes and smoke growing up. You can see him buying it. But you're not allowed just because you were 14 now.
But everyone who's 15 is all dying out earlier because everyone is 14.
You don't see that till like 60 years old or something.
That's true.
But New Zealand are blaming it also, like the fact they have to do it because it's apparently their leading most preventable cause of death in the country. It's from cigarettes.
Okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. Bitcoin inventor ordered to pay 100 million in damages. What's this, Masood?
Do you guys remember Craig Wright by any chance?
Mr. Satoshi.
Is that the Australian guy?
So So basically, everyone who doesn't know, Bitcoin was created by Satoshi Nakamoto, an unknown, pseudonymous, but basically for everyone because we don't know who he is, anonymous inventor. And some guy came out saying, it's me. It was
years ago. This is for a while. He's been saying this.
It's me, and he's been saying it for a long time. Everyone was like, okay, cool, prove it. It's very simple. Just show, move the coins that we definitely can attribute to being Satoshis, and then we'll call it a deal. Yeah. He can't do a cryptographic proof, so everyone's like, "You're bullshitting." But he's been running around chasing people, just like with his whatever money he has. He must be having some sort of wealth because he's taking everyone to court who's just chat shit about him too much.
Really? Oh, that's it.
Sometimes you gotta do it, fam. If they talk too much shit.
It's crazy. It happened in the UK court. It was
okay.
No, not this one, but one story I'm talking about right now. Okay. Which was when he said there was a guy who uploaded on bitcoin.org something, the white paper. The guy was a pseudonymous guy, so he's actually, we don't know who he is, but somehow Craig Wright was able to take that guy to court and be like, that's my white paper, and this guy got it put it on his website, so he needs to pay me the money or take it down. So this anonymous guy was like, fuck you, like, what are you gonna do, take me to court? And he's like, anonymous or no, I'm taking you to court. And then basically he won by default because our guy didn't appear.
And now he's saying that proves that the white paper he owns.
Basically, he's using that kind of as leverage. And then
so he didn't win money or anything.
Wait. And this is not way. So that was one story. And now another story on top of this is the latest one, whereby he had to go court against some people who said he basically created Bitcoin with at the very beginning. He's like, I did it with this guy. He was very instrumental. And then later in the court place, he was like, oh no, this guy wasn't very instrumental. But either way, he was alleged to have stolen certain intellectual property from him. The long story short.
Okay.
And then basically, long story short, very embarrassing court case for him. He ended up losing, and he now has to pay 100 million to the guy that he was in court with. So he fucked it up. He was trying to make money, bare money. But what he's saying is, no, you guys are dumb. You guys don't know what's going on. In the background, I offered to pay settle even higher. So actually, I won because it was a lower than my settlement offer. Yeah. Because really, what this whole thing was about was the 1 million coin that Satoshi hasn't moved, and that's what I won. And the court just said that, and everyone's like, "No, bro, you just got literally ordered to pay 100 million. That's what you got ordered to do, and there's nothing else about that." So crazy. It's a whole fucking thing going on.
Million.
He's been played, bro. He's been played.
He walked out there like crying basically, but he was saying, "Yeah, I won. I'm so happy."
Man lost 100 million. He's stressed. He's for life. That one for life. You have to pay that. These courts, when they say 100 million, they genuinely mean that shit. Like sometimes you don't have it, so you have to go bankrupt, and you'll be paying it off for the rest of your life. Sometimes they put you in a hole so deep you can never get out.
But it was crazy because if you didn't know even small details, because I skipped a lot of the details here. But in another show, for example, in Philip DeFranco, he actually fucked up the whole story, and he said that it was a massive win for Craig Wright because apparently Philip DeFranco thinks that Craig Wright actually has the money, the 1 million coins that Satoshi has, but he can't prove that he does it.
If he does, it's a win then.
Technically speaking, he could have it and just been playing dumb this whole time, so that he doesn't reveal. But he's been saying I'm Satoshi.
Bro, he's been begging for people to give him the attention that I'm Satoshi.
You know what I mean?
That the only thing anyone would have done in a minute if you're going to be begging for this much attention. Move your thing. But when
that would crash the market. In my opinion. Coin, no. Yeah, but if you the second you realise he does have control over that wallet, you're gonna think he's gonna pull out any time. I would think. You
think that, but of course the supply has suddenly increased by those million coins. So temporarily it may go down, but eventually it will be going up. Buying it is a mistake.
It's supposedly worth over 50 billion or whatever it is. Whenever, depending on the price of Bitcoin, it's always worth over 50 to 60, sometimes bare billion. But the thing is, Obviously, like I thought, at one point I was like, who the fuck is Satoshi? I think it's some guy called Hal Finney, or maybe Adam Beck, but mostly Hal Finney. I was like, you know what? How could I think that this is Satoshi? How can I think this Craig Wright guy is Satoshi? Because I was like, what kind of traits can this guy have? Well, if he's got like, I don't know, maybe some Asperger's or something like that, maybe I believe him. Craig Wright has Asperger's. I was like,
oh really? Oh, okay.
Because Elon Musk has Asperger's. He's always craving out. You need to be some sort of a crazy mind to create Bitcoin in it. So
have you guys heard about WhatsApp trying to trial cryptocurrency in using that? Is it Meta's or Facebook's wallets?
I guess the company called Facebook had now changed it to Meta. So now Meta is like owner of WhatsApp, Instagram. Everybody knows this. So now they're doing a trial of running cryptocurrency on some users' WhatsApp. You can send messages, but you can also send now messages that contain value. So maybe they're using a stable coin probably called DM, and it's using a wallet called Novi, I believe. But yeah,
and they've been trialing it, and because they had a similar thing back in the day, me and Kishan used to use, which was a Facebook Messenger pay. You can pay people
through
debit Facebook, through Facebook Messenger. So if we're messaging each other and I would do my tenner, I'd just be like, pay Kishan 10, and because my account was already connected, it would automatically send him £10.
What was this on?
Facebook Messenger.
Facebook Messenger sending money.
Yeah, we used to do it all the time. And he would just request that, and I could just pay straight.
Really? I didn't even know about that. To be
they
honest.
closed it down.
PayPal or?
It was much easier than Facebook because you would just say is pay Kishan £10 and it would pay him.
Oh no, I didn't. I guess I skipped that one. I didn't see that one.
Yeah.
But
So it was so I guess they just repurposed that feature into a cryptocurrency version. I guess because the fees must have been a lot for them when if everyone's sending small amounts of money. The fees are just too small, so I mean the fees must be too high. So they must have went for a cryptocurrency where they don't have to process the payments themselves.
What currency are they using?
I think they're gonna use their own one. You know how they've been trying to work one for years now.
Dead.
Years, bro.
They've been trying to create one
Meta.
on their own one, innit?
Imagine it's called Meta as well.
But yeah,
Meta coin.
Obviously, you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to integrate, your social media, your messaging, your communication tools, your pictures, your everything, and being able to send money to each other all in one ecosystem. And you can join the ecosystem virtually. Like it's very obvious they're trying to create this whole metaverse, and
they want to monetize.
It might work.
Yeah, and they want to monetize this place as well. It's like because right now they can only monetize what's in our hands, our phone, the laptops, and we only got that for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But what about if I got your attention and at all times because you're in the metaverse?
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna force you to have your phone with you all the time. We've seen the whole 2FA push now lately, innit?
2FA push for security wise.
Two-factor authentication.
push.
You need to have that. Yeah.
So they force you to have your phone with you so they can always know where you are 24/7.
But I don't know if that's the reason, but
no, that's not how we link. What do you mean? What's that link? I don't get the link.
So, for example,
just because you need your phone.
Okay, so on Google, for example, you need to make sure you have 2FA now. They're pushing it with creators first, I believe.
2FA is across the board though, security wise.
Yeah, but you didn't have to have it. Now they're making it compulsory.
Oh no, but that's how it is across the board now. Because even in security, when I work for a bank, so it's all very high security. Nearly every single software you interact with now is 2FA. You have to have 2FA, and now even because of security wise, even 2FA now we don't really trust it too much because of SMS issues.
Yes,
what's happened is people are able to hijack someone's SMS. And then
what's it called, SIM swapping or some shit?
I don't know exactly what the name was, but they're able to kind of hijack it. So then what's happening now, you have to use an actual authenticator app like Google Auth.
I got that. But then if you lose your phone, you're locked out of everything.
That was the most annoying one. That happened to me one time.
So annoying. That's why you need to have your number, your phone.
Is it worth us talking about the Christmas party the UK government had?
Oh yes, mate. This is
finish.
Yeah. Hey, so the UK government, big old Boris here was having a party. They had during the lockdown in 2020.
Was Boris there? Has he admitted being there, or it was just people under him?
Everyone knew he was there.
Oh, he was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was saying like, "I'm furious. I can't believe this."
No. This time, they have him on it.
Oh, seriously?
It's a video.
There's no video on him because he's still
no video on him, fam.
But it's like
no face, no case.
And you know what's happening? slowly people are releasing more. You know, it's like drip drip feeding.
Oh, really?
More and more slowly coming out.
They fucked up the other guy before.
Matt Hancock.
Yeah, they played him hard. So Boris, during the 2020 lockdown, all these politicians were having Christmas parties and everything. This is when it was really bad, where all our Christmas parties were cancelled. You couldn't go nowhere. Even people couldn't go to. People were dying alone because you couldn't go to hospital to see your family who were dying.
Right.
Funerals were not taking place. Maybe 4 or 5 people were allowed to go to a funeral. Nothing. It was a very bad time, and everyone kind of had to give up a lot. Boris and the boys were having a good old time partying away after telling all of us to stay at home, and everyone's quite angry about it. But I'm just thinking, let's be honest. That's you guys decided to listen to these man. That's up to you. That's up to you, to be honest. You decided because to be honest, most people who are now also saying, "Oh my God, look, they're taking a piss out of us." Majority of the people are also breaking rules. Like we were all. I think everyone was breaking rules to at least a minor standard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Some people were not doing. The ones I can see legitimately can be angry. Those have followed the rules to the teeth.
I think like families for like nurses had to though. So there was certain people that had to do it. So when you see that the people that forced you to do it that didn't do it, you're pissed.
You're so pissed.
Yeah. We clapped for the NHS, but now we screwed them over pretty much because their families had to.
I lose a lot, and to be honest, Boris. I think what people are slowly not understanding is that they think, oh, Boris, you need to resign, you need to do this. Boris has another 3 years left in the office. He ain't going nowhere.
Well, why would you resign?
And Boris is so smart because have you noticed his image is like a tomfoolery is the perfect word I can explain it.
I guess so.
You know, he's a bit of a buffoon, and that's what he wants you to think.
So you're not surprised.
So you're not surprised that. So you keep letting him do these dumb shit that most people who are serious will be forced to resign by now. Right. But he's like, it's Boris. You know, he's that guy who used to rugby tackle kids. You know what I mean? Like it's just he's cultivated this image so that he can continually be let off and to do what he wants.
Okay.
And people will say, oh, we need to get the Labour in, this, that. Labour are the exact same as these guys. Have you seen Keir Starmer? He looks like a career politician. Who? Posh Keir Starmer, the leader of the Labour Party. Oh, okay. And he looks like he's been he literally looks like a Tory. Someone who looks like a Tory. But what he chose the other side of the team, and now he has to put on a facade of being good. He has to pretend like he's a good person because that's what Labour voters are looking for. Right. But we all know when it comes to reality, as we saw with Tony fucking Blair, they did what the fuck they wanted. We saw this with Gordon Brown. They violated us just as bad. And you know what I'm saying? The only hard part about it during that time was, and the only reason I'd vote Labour for me is because it's harder to do bad things when you have to pretend that you're good. Yeah, because the Tories, they're doing it brazenly. They don't give a fuck. And it's easier to do something bad when you're doing it brazenly than having to pretend and hide a little bit. You know what I mean? These guys are actively going out of their way. That's why if you're going to vote for someone, you have to vote for the guy who's at least trying to pretend to be good, because he's going to fuck you a little bit less. You know what I mean? So, but they're all the same people, and they've always have been. And
democracy's a fail. Let's switch it up.
You know, it's just how it is. Honestly, I don't know. Like, this whole government thing, politics. They literally gave us 2 teams who are both playing for themselves.
It's been stress.
But yeah, that's the end of the Let's Chat shit.
Yeah, thank you.
We had a long podcast today. Make sure you like, subscribe. We've been giving you guys out mad clips and entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Share us about, show us to your friends. We got different opinions.
Cuss us out in the comment.
Yeah, cuss us out.
Cuss us out. And so,
thank you.